Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Happy Friday. It is officially Friday. It's not Thursday. So the last 2 weeks we've been going on Thursdays, but um, Topher, unfortunately for us at least, fortunately for him, he is out of town celebrating his son's birthday. So he's having a blast this weekend. Which means I got to find my good friend Clinton here, who is joining the podcast with us tonight, joining the SideQuest Strategy. He is one of the mods in the Discord server. He is absolutely fantastic when it comes to content creation. I will probably let you do a little bit of your introduction here, just so that I don't get anything wrong. And you can kind of touch on the highlights, the things that you actually want people to know. But
Oh, thank
go
you so
for it.
much. And Devon's been incredibly accommodating to push to Friday for my own schedule. So thank you again. Yeah, my name's
Absolutely.
Clinton. I've become viciously obsessed with YouTube over the last year or so. And I have a video game based channel, which is a podcast primarily. It's called Super Game Boys Podcast. And just me and my best friends talk about video games we love.
Yeah, so you've got an
Thank you so
awesome
much.
gaming podcast. It's fantastic. You guys all got to go and check it out. Super Game Boys podcast. I love it. Like literally the first episode I watched, you guys are absolutely fantastic together. The editing is like, I don't usually say like editing of a podcast. Like I don't do much editing on this podcast, but like it's solid. You've really got a fun show, and I can't wait for it to just absolutely blow up and you guys to be super famous and all that kind of stuff. But
Well, I appreciate it, but with editing in mind, like I have to edit that much because
yeah,
we truly are absolutely best friends, and we only get together like once a month. So
yeah,
when we do get together, we can just go off forever. So when it comes time to editing, I have to chop 2.5 hours down to hopefully less than an hour if it's like a big
yeah,
thematic podcast, because we'll just go. It's best friends catching up every month.
absolutely.
But yeah, hopefully it comes off as just best friends having the best time ever.
Oh yeah,
There's so many great games right now.
it
To
for
anyone
sure
who's
does.
watching, who's a gamer as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because your the name is Super Game Boys, and I don't think I've heard you guys talk about a single Game Boy game on there yet, or
Oh,
I'm
we
sure
have,
there's.
we have,
Okay,
but
well, not recently at
it's
least.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But oh yeah, I suppose there were some Game Boy games in the Zelda one.
yeah, and we
Um
also talked about the actual Nintendo Super Game Boy. I don't know if you're familiar with that
oh, yeah,
peripheral.
yeah. Okay.
It's a
I
uh, it's a thing you can either snap.
yeah.
There's two versions. You can either snap it to your Super
Mhm.
Nintendo to play your Game Boy through the TV,
Yeah.
or there's a version where you can snap to your GameCube.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I
that's super cool.
guess early innovations for Switch, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The docking.
That's very cool. Yeah, I have one of the cartridge loaders for the Super Nintendo to play your
Ah,
Game Boy on. But
that's awesome.
that's fun. Good stuff. All right, but we're not here to talk about games. We could do
No,
that. We could do
we
that as
we could
well.
do that far too long.
But we wanted to just kind of so idea that I was brainstorming for this week was really just kind of the even the last couple of episodes we've really just been hitting a lot of basics, talking a lot about just the foundational stuff of content creation, where people start from, and how to really just kind of get the ball rolling. And my brainstorm idea started this week as what I wish I knew before becoming a creator. And so I've kind of got a couple of starter questions and different things to kind of go through, just where to even start, and what are some of those big pitfalls, and what are some of those big like aha moments that we've had,
Yeah.
so that hopefully people can get to those sooner. That's always, always one of the struggles, right? So I had on here talking about some of the updates to YouTube. Again, both of us are very much YouTube heavy focused people. I don't know if there were any of those updates that really caught your eye. One of the things that I think is actually really important if you want to take content creation seriously is you have to stay up on these platforms for a couple of reasons, right? Like you have to stay up on what's changing, not just on like a content perspective, like what's trending and what's popular right now, but on a system side from the actual platforms themselves. There's a handful of reasons, but every time that like a platform comes out with a new feature or a new thing or changes something, that they're focusing on that thing, right? When YouTube first put out shorts, people were going absolutely insane on them because they were pushing them. They were trying to test them. They were pushing them out, harder than ever, right?
Yeah.
I remember when YouTube launched vertical live streams. I talked to multiple people that like the day it came out, they're like, I'm just gonna try it. I live stream on a pretty regular basis. They live stream and their typical like 10 to 15 viewers on their regular live streams, all of a sudden is like thousands of people on their vertical live streams, right?
Wow.
Because it's a new thing. All YouTube wants to test it, they want to get it out there. So all these platforms do this. And I just think it's super important to stay up on things, especially
Absolutely.
when they're as big as what was just announced at the Made on YouTube event. There's a lot of really big things coming. The unfortunate part is none of it's available yet, and they haven't told us when any of it's going to be available. So
And that's how it always is, isn't
it's
it?
kind of frustrating, but
Yeah.
so I don't know if you looked through that link or are familiar with any of the announcements that they had come out. If there was anything that caught your eye in particular.
Oh, hello. This is Yuki, everybody. She just decided to hop on my lap.
Hello, Yuki. Welcome to the podcast.
Tell me something.
There was a lot of really interesting stuff. I kind of assumed going in that it was going to be just 100% AI and just, oh yeah, just AI. And there definitely was, right? Like don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, there was plenty of AI in there.
Mhm.
But I feel like they kept it to a minimum, at least like the super, generative stuff that like I could care less that I can generate B-roll to go along with like my short, whatever that kind of stuff.
Right.
But
Yeah.
but I am super excited that they announced the uh like AI clipping and video editing, not video editing, but like just they can help take out some of those dead spaces. They can chop up and make a highlight reel is what they're claiming, right? I think that kind of stuff that I tweeted this actually over a year ago and I went and found this tweet that I said literally if YouTube just we know that YouTube has the capability. If they just released a good like clip editor for live streams, like
Oh
Twitch would be done. Twitch
man.
would be gone tomorrow. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, they announced it. Like, let's see it. If this is good for like gaming live streams, if it actually comes up, like you have a 3-hour live stream and you can just hit a button and it comes up with a bunch of really good clips for you, it's over. Twitch better have that feature incoming real quick. Otherwise, that's a game changer for people. Like people are going to start streaming on YouTube just for that feature and then they're going to realize that oh, I make more money. I get way more analytics and I also get discoverability on YouTube.
Absolutely.
It's going to
Yeah.
be over. Like it's crazy.
I think they'll absolutely nail it too because smaller platforms, you have software like CapCut where
Mhm.
it works well. and they are pretty ahead in all these AI tools. But one of their big pulls is exactly that big shorts conversion thing where it
Mhm.
automatically detects like popular moments or like engaging
Yeah.
moments, cuts out all the silences, and just
Hmm.
a couple clicks, and you have
Yeah.
as many shorts or awesome moments as you want. So if CapCut can do it, I
Yeah.
have no doubts that YouTube can.
Exactly.
They are
Right.
unbelievably capable. Um,
Exactly.
but yeah, speaking of having more analytics, I am excited about them releasing new analytical tools for YouTube Studio because I
Yes.
love
Oh my
analytics.
gosh. I've literally had this in my mind, like, for, the years that I've been, diving into YouTube analytics. Every time I'm like, what would they what else do I even want? Like, they have so much more compared to every other platform that I'm just like, I don't even know what other kinds of analytics I would even want.
Do you still not know to this day, or do you
Yeah, I
have
mean,
one that you still
I,
wish you
I
had?
mean, there's some like really, really, really niche things. But most of that, I think right now you can still imply. Like, the advanced analytics within YouTube is so in depth, still so amazing.
Yeah.
Um, and a lot of things you can, I think, go into and imply certain things. I think a lot of the analytics that a lot of people would love to have are just very specific, like, demographics things that I just don't think are we're like capable of getting right now.
Sure.
Um, just or would even like be super helpful, because if somebody's not logged into an account or whatever, I just don't think that those kinds of things are going to be accurate enough to be super helpful. But
Yeah.
I'm all here for more analytics. But um, I also like the idea that they were trying to make it easier to, manage, and having the like AI chatbot to like ask questions to and stuff. I think that's really cool. I can't wait to play with it, because it if if it like has full access to all of your analytics, and you can just start asking it questions, like, the way that I've found AI like chatbots helpful, the most helpful so far to me, just overall in general, is
Mhm.
just mass amounts of data, right? Like, it's not like I don't usually go to AI and just like ask a simple question. Most of the time when I go to like ChatGPT, it's, hey, here's this here's this Excel spreadsheet with like 10,000 rows in it. Can you find me, this, that, whatever? And it just does it, right? So, like, if all of a sudden I could just ask this YouTube chatbot, like, hey, out of my last 400, videos, what are the demographics of this? And if you could ask it to like start averaging things like retention graphs,
Mhm.
like, can you look at the last 100 retention graphs that I have and like tell me different things about it? That kind of stuff is going to be insane, uh,
For
if
sure.
if they can pull that kind of thing off. But I don't know. I that's one of those things I have to see before I like believe it, kind of thing. I want to play with it.
Same here. Yeah.
I think that could be really, really helpful, though. Not just for people that don't know analytics, but just for diving even deeper and doing it on a mass scale. I think also just putting it in real human language. If you can just tell it like, hey, this graph that shows me how much people are watching, can you tell me what to do with that? Like, you don't have to know all the acronyms and all the things that YouTube actually goes after. But
Right.
all right, cool. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool things coming to YouTube, and I would expect and hope that that some of these platforms are going to follow here pretty quick. I think this is a lot of stuff of the future. The other big thing I didn't even mention was the integrated vertical and horizontal live streaming that they're going to be doing. Integrate, like hit one button and it just works. Integrated chat, so you don't have like two separate live streams anymore. You have one integrated chat. Like, oh, it's going to be so nice. It's going to be so cool.
Absolutely.
And again, these are the things these are the reasons I love YouTube so much, is that they're building this whole ecosystem that is working. I Shorts is probably my least favorite vertical video platform to watch videos on right now, but they're building it and it's working and they're going to continue working on it. And like, you start adding in these other little features that they're adding in, and it's going to get good. It's going to get better. Like, these other platforms better watch out.
Oh, they're watching out.
Yeah. I can't wait. So I actually, I'm really excited. I am going officially to TwitchCon in October. I'm really excited to see what they end up announcing and talking about, and see if it is anything in response to this kind of stuff, or if there's anything similar. Like, see if they're working on some of the same kind of stuff. So we'll see.
Where's that being held?
San Diego. They
Okay, I
have
was gonna say.
they have one in, is it the Netherlands? I don't remember where the other one is. They have one over in Europe, and they have one in the one in San Diego.
Cool.
Every year. So I'm excited. My first time going to that. I'm really looking forward to seeing what it's all about.
Oh, bud, you're gonna have a time.
Yeah. I'm excited.
So fun.
Yeah.
Right on.
They just released all the panel information and everything in their app today. So I was literally just scrolling through all the different sessions, all the different events going on. Just, oh, star that, put that on my calendar, put that on the schedule. I want to see if I can get to that one. And there's a whole lot in there. There's a whole lot in there. So it's gonna be fun. All right, so let's jump into what we wish we knew before becoming creators, or whether it's before we became creators, or whether it's as beginning creators. What would have made the transition from like, I am starting to being a content creator, to I am officially a creator at this point. So one of the first things that I had written down here was what kinds of habits do you have now that you didn't have when you started, that you think make your creation process a lot simpler, make it easier, make it something that you just couldn't do this anymore if you didn't do these kinds of things?
I have learned very quickly that I am not a script kind of person. I have a slightly different technique for if I do want to quote unquote script something. But for me to sit down and type something on like a Google Doc or whatever, it's not fast for me. It's not authentic. And I can't keep up with my train of thought. So for me, typing a script, it just simply doesn't work. But what has been really great for me, if it's not something where I just need bullet points for, that's my go-to. But if I do need to get very detailed and again create a script for a very thoughtful video, I will record it into an audio software, a DAW, and I'll sort of just talk into my mic podcast style. And then if I finish a sentence or two or three, I'll listen back to it and I'll refine from there, and I'll just re-record it. So if it's a case where I do get in front of a camera and record this scripted thing now, I can just listen back sentence to sentence, and then I can it's already in my own voice.
Yeah.
And I can automatically like put whatever flavor or whatever mood I'm in that day. It can come across that quick. But for me to read something I've typed, that's strike one.
Yeah.
Then I have to focus on something visually, besides the camera, that's already strike two. So that's
Yeah.
going to make me worse at being okay looking to this strange black lens that is nothing but a void. So it helps if I've taken out the optical end of reading a script and I'm only
Sure.
listening to a line in my own words and I'm just repeating it with again whatever vibe I'm in that day. So much easier for me and it's
Yeah.
quick, quick,
Yeah.
quick, quick.
I think a lot of people really like that. A lot of people, especially when you start getting into YouTube, start thinking that you have to script something and you have to have something perfect.
Nope.
But the counterpoint to that, I think, is kind of picking your poison. Like, I think a lot of people like to script things because it means less editing after the fact. So it kind of is like, what would you rather do to me? Would you rather script a little bit and do less video editing, or would you rather just freeform it? And maybe it's more video editing early on, but once you
Sure.
get a lot more
Yeah.
comfortable in front of the camera, once you get a lot of that kind of stuff, it probably starts coming better. But
But let me hear your first thing on
oh
your list
yeah,
of
that's
things
right.
you wish you knew.
Okay, so one of those like habits that I probably learned way too late, but I am so glad that I do now is just staying organized.
Oh, yes.
So figuring out and I think my biggest problem at first was being able to scale that organization. It's one thing to like have a post-it note with like ideas and things you got to do, your to-do list, right? Um, I use OneNote. I know a lot of people use Notion, just something that you can have things written down.
Yeah,
But having title ideas, video ideas, having blurbs, descriptions, B-roll shots that you need, all just written down in one place for different videos and different things is an absolute game changer. Depending on, what kind of content you're actually making. If you're doing a lot of B-roll kind of stuff, me being a tech YouTube channel talking about computers and doing all this stuff, I've B-roll like crazy every single time. I'm literally to the point now where anytime I buy something new or I get something sent to me, I just film an unboxing for it. I'm probably not going to like make that into a video, but I film it. And then the key here is that I put it into a folder and I label that footage as the brand, the name of the product, the thing, so that I can go and search it, right? Because again, when you're starting out, not a huge deal, right? But like when you do more B-roll every single day, after 3 years of doing this now,
she's gonna
I've
add
got
up.
terabytes of
Yeah,
B-roll, right? Of
yeah,
of this footage of products, of different things that I've filmed. And I can't just remember all the time when it was, what date it was, whatever. But
sure.
having dates on things is super helpful though too. I have so many folders within folders of just like, okay, here's a date and here's that project. Here's dates of this B-roll, dates of this, and then things labeled. Those kinds of things can be super helpful. Again, depending on what kind of content I think you're creating, but I label everything so that I can go back and search it. I could literally do a search for, this specific graphics card, and
Sure.
it'll pull up 4 different projects over the last 3 or 4 years that I've used that graphics card in. And now I've got a bunch of B-roll that I can, use. I can either use already, or all of a sudden I can say, now while I'm writing my script or figuring out what my call to action at the end of this video is going to be, I can say, oh yeah, I'm doing an unboxing video for this graphics card. I also did a video 6 months ago talking about using this graphics card in a different PC build somewhere else. So I can tell people now, oh yeah, and if you want to see this graphics card in a full build, check out this video I did. And it's super easy to find for me, super easy to link and just keep track of things. So that's definitely one of those things that I wish I would have done better early on.
Sure. Yeah.
and just it's a process to keep it all organized, and an extra step that you have to do every single time. You film, you export stuff, you put stuff wherever, but it's well worth it, and it has saved me a lot of time for sure.
But I'll piggyback off of that. Since again, our podcast, it's me and 3 other folks.
Mm,
So I do kind of head most things in the show, including staying on top of our Google Drive, and it's
mm,
shared. And I've designed it in such a way where it's 90% of the time me going, creating things, organizing, but it's built in such a way where those other 3 folks can go in there and without question find what they need.
mm.
There is a lot of deep folder diving, but it's all intuitive.
Yeah.
So one thing that has changed our lives on a per project basis, especially the long podcast shows, say it's episode 40, it's going to be 40 followed by the name of the episode, right? But on the top of that list in podcasts, I have 00 template folder, copy and
Yeah.
pastable for every episode, because you open one folder up. I have a folder just for the audio software I'm using. I have a folder just for DaVinci Resolve. I've got a folder just for the thumbnail stuff. I've got a folder for screenshots that I'm gathering inspiration for, one for just synced footage, raw footage, and it's all on one podcast. There's 12 subfolders. So
Yeah.
instead of making them every single time,
That's awesome.
I have one master one that is copy and pastable,
Yeah.
and we iterate on it over time too. It's a template essentially. So super fast.
That is not something that I've done.
Oh,
I
you
don't have
should.
like a template for things like that. The one time that like I do have a kind of a template, just like a video ideation template that I use. But literally when it's not something like, it's not one of like a OneNote page that I can make a copy of and keep going. It's literally it's literally like here's a document over here. Okay, now I'm gonna go figure out what things I know so far, and I'm just gonna start typing it in OneNote.
Yeah.
Everything new that I have. My OneNote pages are just literally like a mess. I put things in like chronological order. I don't say like, okay, the title has to go at the top, and then this has to go next, and then this has to go, and then when I ideate the thumbnail, it goes here, and then here. Like, it's just when it comes to me, I just put it next in line. It's all just like chronological in one page. It's just a dump of stuff.
It's like, tell me, and I'm guilty as charged and medicated, but it's tell me you have ADHD without telling me you have ADHD.
Man, yeah, it's just a dump, but
Yeah.
it works. It works for me. That's how I've been my whole life. Is I like, you look behind me and like all of this stuff I have everywhere. It is not organized, but I know where every single thing is. If you ask me for a thing, a document, a holder for something, I know exactly where it is.
Hey, get me a 256 gig SD card right now. I'm just kidding. Record time, dude.
It's a two. Oh my god, it's not gonna focus. It's a 256. It's a 256.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Ask and you shall receive.
we did not plan that either. I promise.
No. I'm looking at mine on my desk, which is why that's the first thing I thought of.
Nice.
But no, you're so right. You have to stay organized, because the easier you can make it on yourself, the more fun, the better of a time you're going to have. And the better of a time you're going to have, the more you're going to do it. And the more you're going to do it, this is just habit building. This is making things easier for you when you come down, and your templates just get more and more just, what's the word I'm looking for here? But you're just setting yourself up further and further every single time, to a point where you can honestly just turn a camera on with a few bullet points, no scripts, and then drag and drop it into your project with all of your preset stuff. bookended, your intros, your
Yeah.
outros. It's just going to be fun if you can take all of the BS guesswork and starting from zero every time. That's too much. So anything you can do, whether it's organizing your back end, your folder hierarchy, your in session presets, whether you're using Premiere, DaVinci, CapCut, get all of those saved up. So every time you open those platforms, it's just there and ready to go. You save probably days in the course of every year, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If not just hours, probably days.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it's all in the name of keeping the brain happy and having fun while you're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of starting, from scratch, one of the things that I also wanted to bring up was starting from scratch with your audio setup. That's definitely one of your fortes, being audio. But I think it's one of the things that a lot of creators don't pay enough attention to, or it's just another one of those things that you don't always think of. It's not the first thing that comes to mind, right?
Yep.
But hopefully everybody at this point is aware that audio is important when at least when it comes to video content, right? Audio is very important, and again, as most people have probably heard, is more important than the video. But I don't, for some reason, like cameras are just more glamorous than like microphones. I don't know what it is, but that's what everybody always asks about is, cameras. What are you doing for this? What camera should I get?
Well, audio stuff, unless you're strictly an audio engineer, it's not as sexy as a camera purchase.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so I was just kind of thinking, maybe we give a quick rundown of, maybe things that you would suggest brand new creators think about when it comes to audio.
Sure.
Whether it be equipment, whether it be any tips post-processing wise, anything that we should be doing pre-recording something as far as audio goes. What kind of tips do you have for us for brand new creators?
You've got the right guy on the stream. I know the irony is that, I didn't have my mic set, but
I wasn't going to bring it up, but
it's so ironic. Yeah, it's funny. But again, my first time on Restream, so we'll allow it this time.
Yep.
So I've been recording for money, and I say for money because everybody records these days, right? Since I was 16, so it's almost 20 years.
All right. That's crazy.
But one of the superpowers is that I've spent most of my career completely broke, like so broke, like recording my friend's band 2-day weekend, and it's like, oh, give me $100. You know what I mean? That's you can't buy real gear with that kind of money.
Yeah.
So I've done it all in like the cheap realm, and then I've recently come all the way to like being on SSL consoles and like control rooms where there's so much outboard tube gear where if you don't have an air conditioner on, it will reach 90 degrees in that control room in like 30 minutes. So the spectrum is crazy, but I've spent most of my career just super broke. So I know the gear. One of the biggest mistakes someone on a budget and who is new, usually those things kind of go hand in hand. In my opinion, and it's kind of controversial, it's a little bit of a hot take, investing in a Shure SM7B because it is because it is the mic everybody buys. It is the mic everybody knows. There is nothing about that microphone that is worth your time.
I was literally gonna ask that question if
you
didn't bring it up. What
do
your
not.
thoughts were?
Specifically on the budget end, because that microphone needs a lot of output. It needs a lot of preamp gain, because it is it's the impedance of the microphone. It is low gain, right? So it needs a lot of juice. And if you have only a few bucks for like a cheaper few gens ago Focusrite Scarlett. Let's be objective here. Those preamps are not great. And they are subject to electronic ground noise, hum. I think they're bucket brigade preamps too. So like you put it past what appears to be 5 and all of a sudden it's incredibly loud. It's cheap stuff and it is just not going to work with that microphone well. And it's also just a super dark mic. And a lot of people might unknowingly think dark, boomy, bolsterous sounding vocals are good sounding, broadcast sound. But no, there's magic in the mids, friends. Do not underestimate the mids. That is literally what our ears are built to hear. It's just, I don't want to hear 80 to 150 hertz at 12 dB worth of gain. It doesn't sound good, friends. So the SM7B is incredibly dark sounding, super rolled off top end, needs a ton of gain, and you probably don't have the budget to buy really, really great converters and preamps. So don't do it.
I think that's it for me. I'm obviously not nearly as tuned to a lot of the sounds that are coming out of these as you are. But if I know one thing as an average audio consumer, that mic doesn't sound that much better for the whole total price that you have to pay for it. Than a lot of other microphones do.
And you're so right. And I am this close to making like a 30-minute video on my passion of hating this microphone because it has just led so many people askew. But I think last I checked, it's like $400 retail, unless you go on Reverb, get a discount or whatever. $400. So for context sake, my favorite microphone in the world, I have a pair of AKG 414s, BXLSs, I think, and I have a pair of Telefunken TF51s. Those are tube microphones, and they are the greatest things in the world. I love them so much. But I'm using this Rode Pod mic. This is a $100 microphone. It's incredible. It does such a good job. Because since it's super hypercardioid, it does such a killer job just rejecting sounds around it, especially when we're podcasting. I have a pretty small living room here. This is our studio. So when I have 3 other super loud homies just screaming into each other, I'll kind of position all of our mics so it's a little 180s on the off axis, and it does a great job. $100 as opposed to these other mics I'm talking about that are like $2,000 a pop. Couldn't recommend this enough. So considering an SM7B is $400, you can get one of these bad Larrys. You can get yourself like a cheaper Audient converter or preamp rather. I believe in Audient so much. I love that company. I think they make some of the greatest sounding things. They're extremely accessible price and design wise. Big fan of that. You're still under budget. And then one tool on the digital side, maybe a third-party plugin. I cannot live without a good EQ. And Fab Filter Pro Q3 or even better, Pro Q4. It's a little pricey, but if you don't buy that SM7B, guess what? You're going to have the funds for it. So
I have to go look this up.
It's an incredible tool. It's if I'm recording a record, say like a big punk ensemble, and I've got maybe, I don't know, 120 to 150 tracks, there's probably 150 instances of that plugin for sure. And you can set presets in there so automatically when you pull up an instance, you have bands that are ready to activate at all times. It's just so fast.
So let's talk through a couple different types of creators, and maybe just like super basic talk through some of the different options, maybe some of the different price points if we're familiar with some of those,
Yeah.
of like what are options for audio. So I think for the most part what we've been talking about right now is probably um, very much for somebody that's doing something like this, podcasting, very much a talking head style video. I'm going to be sitting here talking to you, telling you about something.
Yeah.
Also, probably very comfortable for people that are streaming, right? Playing games, sitting at their desk, playing games, streaming. They just want some decent audio to go along with it, right? So, what other types of creators are out there? What other types of audio microphone setups could we be looking at? What about the person that does some in real life streaming or is moving around? Somebody that is maybe vlogging. What kinds
Sure.
of microphones are we looking at? What kinds of budgets? Where should we be for stuff like that?
I have a lot of experience with Shure, lavaliers, and clip-on mics. I haven't had much experience with other brands. But I know there's a through line with clip-on mics that they do sound great. They do a killer job rejecting other sounds too. So if you're out in the wild, maybe it's a windy day or you're in the city, they'll do a really good job just kind of catching what's in this area. There is a little bit of a learning curve on how much movement, rustling, and all that you can get away with, though. More times than not, you're going to go back to your recording. You're just going to hear like, don't wear synthetic materials.
Yeah, right.
That's
Absolutely.
a good one too.
Yep.
But the price points on those kinds of mics have gotten so accessible. It's awesome. We love to see that. And very cool thing about most of them too is the wireless technology. Now they can plug right into whatever camera you're using.
Yeah.
So especially if you're vlogging, you obviously don't have to worry about like carting around a laptop and recording your audio separately and then have to sync it up later because it's two different programs, which is what I do with our podcast, but I digress. So I'm not sure, unless you're shopping on Temu and the price is too good to be true, probably don't buy it. But I'm not sure there's terrible affordable options out there. They're all just going to have slightly different EQ curves, slightly different noise rejection, and maybe some of them have like accessories with wind dampening and stuff like that. But again, I have tons of experience with Shure stuff, but that's really about it. And they're great. Nothing, in my opinion, in the clip-on world beats a more full frequency microphone very close in proximity to your speaking. With at least a foam cap or a pop filter. I typically use a pop filter, but if there's video involved, they just kind of look ugly. So I'll do a tiny bit more EQ if I have to. It's fine.
Yeah.
And if there's some ugly plosives, whatever, we're human. It's fine.
Exactly. That's kind of how I've gotten to the point with it. I'm like, I'm not going to worry too much about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And part of being, as deep into audio as long as I have too, is eventually you learn like what matters. So like, I don't know, an ugly pee made its way through a live stream once. It's fine.
Yep, exactly.
Totally fine.
What do you want to spend your time and money on versus what's actually important?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I know USB microphone technology has come so far, even in just the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Where the only options, in the late 20 teens were those blue, huge, chunky USB mics, which I never messed with because they just They were atrocious.
That's
But now
that
they're
is how I ran my channel for the first like 2 years. I
that
had
was
one of the little snowball ones.
that was even so much better than the original
Mm-hmm.
one too. So
Yep, I
you
had
were
one of
already
those.
miles ahead.
One of those for a long time, but
Mhm.
then the USB port actually broke on that one. So I had my microphone arm was like sitting here next to me like this, so it's got a microphone arm. My son apparently thought that was something he could hang on.
Oh
He just
no.
grabbed onto the microphone arm and like jumped right, and it just went slammed into my desk, and it hit the microphone right on the USB port, and the USB cord basically just went right up into the microphone, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess it's time to upgrade.
You should write a bad review for that arm. It should
Oh
support a
man.
small child.
Dude, I can barely support that small child at this point, man. He's
Oh. So what do you have
Oh.
there?
This right here is the Fine K688.
Is that a USB mic?
It is. It's actually a USB or XLR, but I am using USB.
Wow. It looks like you
Mhm.
have some what do you have there? Attenuation or filters or
Uh,
anything?
no, it's just it's gain, and then one of the other one is monitor volume, so you can literally plug in
Mm,
headphones directly to the mic and
look at that.
monitor as well.
And what's
So
the price point for that bad, Larry?
so I think it's like new when it's not on sale is like 74 or something. But it's
Wow.
very, very often on sale for less than 50, like 45. So it is insanely accessible.
Yeah.
I not gonna lie, I really like this mic for how cheap it was, and honestly how good it sounded, at least to me. I was very, very happy with this microphone for.
And honestly, you sound great. Like
Well, thank you.
no lie, like I literally
Yeah,
get other podcasts to mix all of the time, and
yeah,
I know what mics they're using, and they're
yeah,
way more expensive than that. If I got something that sounded like yours, opened fresh and ready to mix, I
yeah.
would have been so happy.
Yeah, and you're not even gonna believe this. Literally zero EQ, nothing. This is USB from this microphone to my computer.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
I love this microphone. I can't say enough about it. But um, I'm not trying to sell it either. I'm just literally I was blown away. I've used a lot of different microphones. A lot of the like popular microphones in the streaming world,
Right.
Elgato, Yeti,
Mhm.
Logitech. Like I've used a lot of those microphones. This is like I don't want to say hands down, but like it is. It sounds better than most of those, and it is half a third of the price. Like it
Yeah,
is just
that is cheap.
way cheaper than any of those microphones.
And
So
considering it, I mean, you have just those options of, being able to do XLR, USB, and
mhm,
plug right into monitor.
right,
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
You kind of can't beat that.
yep,
And again, it does sound really good. No
yeah.
qualms.
I literally had this microphone, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna try something else. I went and bought one of the Elgato Wave 3 microphones.
Mhm.
It's like $150 mic or whatever it is.
Yep.
Um, Plug it in for the first time, and they honestly, it's a great mic. I don't mind it. Definitely needs a lot of that like EQ too. It did not sound good right out of the box. The software that you have to make this microphone work, not great,
That's a red flag. If
not great at
if you
all.
need software to pair with your
Yes.
mic, red flag, baby.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where again, this literally just just works.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything with it. I didn't have to download software to go along with this microphone. I don't have to. I can, right? But like so All right. Anything else, audio wise, microphone wise, that you would like to impart on everybody before we move on?
I mean, microphone wise, it kind of doesn't get better than these couple of options we have here for the price point. There just are really some third party plugins that are life changers as far
Yeah.
as easily making things sound good. Yeah, I can't recommend anything FabFilter enough. If you have a little extra coin to spend and want to get something truly magical and easy to use, I can't recommend Oak Sound Soothe 2 enough.
Is that part of FabFilter, or is that something different?
No. So FabFilter is its own company.
Okay.
Oak Sound is the other manufacturer of this third-party plugin. I think it's OEK, might be Scandinavian. I'm so sorry
Okay,
if I
there it
have that
is.
wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
OEK sound.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Soothe 2 is incredible. But again, if you're buying Pro Q4, that FabFilter EQ plugin, it's got functions that basically do the same thing Oak Sounds Soothe does. It's a dynamic attenuator that is EQ specific. People have a million ways they like to describe it, but it's essentially an EQ specific compressor that can get so fine to like the tightest overtone, whistle tone, harmonics building up top for S's, or honky like 500 hertz bullish. Or you could get super broad with it and just carve out a really big, broad DS sound. But those two, I mean, my chains are ridiculous, but those are kind of like sort of my desert island audio tools.
Sure. Nice. Well, thank you for that expert insight into some of those things. I think the message that I would want to get out to new creators is you should spend a little bit of money on audio, because it is very important. Again, I don't know if I 100% agree with it's more important than the video. It is just as important, I think. I think you could, it depends on the kind of content that you're making.
It does depend, because you could have horrendous audio, and just gorgeous, just creamy background, just out of a Sony or whatever, and that's not great. But you could have serviceable audio and like pretty awful video, but then you could make it stylized. You could get away with it. Like if you had serviceable audio and your video's not that great, and you can get away with like a cheeky 90s VHS filter, all of a sudden it's a vibe. you kind of can't get away with it with audio, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nobody wants to listen to that. It's a weird thing. People would love to watch the 90s VHS filter stuff. Like that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear the audio from that VHS.
No.
Nobody wants that.
It's the same in the music and the audio world. Like your drums should sound awesome. And then your guitar tones can quote unquote suffer, but they can also be stylized. But if it's like if your drums suck, then majority of your mix is gonna suck.
Yeah, I always tell people to look at your lighting and your audio before you get a new camera. That's just
couldn't agree more. Yeah, because chances are you've got a very serviceable cell phone on you at all times.
Absolutely.
And that's perfect camera to start with. If you can get your lighting superb, or hey, you can record during the day, you've got a nice window. Don't even need to spend money on lighting. Just play around with that,
Absolutely.
Do some A/B tests, see which one you like better. If you're wearing glasses like I am, try not to, put the light straight on, because
your lighting is fantastic, by the way.
Thank you.
I literally just like turned a light on and like shine it at myself, because I'm like, I don't know where else to put it.
I just got this one kind of tucked away right on the
lighting
side.
looks fantastic.
pretty cheap light too, but the secret was, I'll show you. Purchasing this
All right.
softbox from Amazon that was super
Mhm.
cheap too.
Yep.
Hi, Six.
Yes, just something as simple as that is amazing.
So yeah, I got a pair of these. They're
Yeah.
just like very cheap, very simple LEDs from Geek Odo. Is that how you pronounce that? You have some Geek Odo stuff, right?
I do. Yes,
Yeah.
this microphone arm is made by them.
Yeah. So it's great. It's
Did you get that because of my recommendation, or did you?
No,
get
I got
that?
this. I got this well before knowing you.
Wow,
I
that's crazy.
won't lie to you, but
That's awesome.
but no, this softbox from Amazon, which is Defuse.
Yeah.
It's collapsible with like little magnet things.
Yeah. That's very cool.
In tandem with the more affordable LEDs, has really transformed it because
Oh yeah.
it wasn't the softest light right out of the box. Yeah, that thing just superb.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think it was $20.
Yeah,
great stuff.
right. Easy, massive upgrades to quality of stuff.
Big wins, absolutely.
Cool.
The 80-20 rule, right?
Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up with one last question here. What do you think was one of your biggest mistakes that you made in the past that you that you're glad that you are done making? One of those things that, again, you wish that somebody would have just told you beforehand.
Without overthinking it, I think the value in just thinking about not wasting people's time. How you should think about the first 30 seconds of your video, how you should think about fluff. It's just, if you're not a vlogger and you have, a formulaic show like yours, you're not going to introduce yourself on camera and then talk about how your traffic today sucked and
Right.
you were just like in a really bad mood. So then you went and got fast food to help cheer you up. And then like, now you have gas and you're on camera. It's just, no, I've clicked off to the 10th power. You know what I mean? That was a tough lesson for me to learn. Specifically with our gaming podcast, I'd always want to start and catch up with the guys like, hey, what have you guys been playing?
Yeah.
And so we just divulge into this rabbit hole of games that we've been playing. And sure, it's engaging for us, but I wish I could have snapped out of it and been more objective and thought about the viewer, because that's who, that is the algorithm, is people on the opposite side of the lens clicking on your video and engaging or tuning out. So it was a valuable lesson to think about people's time and not wasting it.
And it's only gotten more exacerbated with the vertical video and just how easy it is to nope, not engaging, nope. Like, it is insanely easy for somebody to just swipe and find something more engaging, right?
Yeah.
If you're making video content, it has to be engaging for the person that's watching it immediately. Otherwise, they're just not going to watch it, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I love that.
Yeah. So it comes at a little bit of a cost, but I've given myself a framework in that I go into editing frenzy for the intro hook, especially.
Yeah.
And you're so good at helping me out too, because you can always give me like you're on this shot too long. I love you for that.
I've looked at a lot of intros over the years.
Yeah. You have an unbelievable eye for it. But So yeah, go in for the frenzy right at the top, right out of the gate. Get them in there, hook them in there, and then slowly you can stop. You can care less and less about your retention editing, I'll call it.
Yeah.
And then you truly can you could step off the gas and put it on cruise control by the time you're halfway done with your video.
Oh yeah.
And if you've hooked them, they're gonna hang with you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Completely agree.
Yeah. But definitely put a lot of effort in that front end, baby.
Yeah, 100% agree. Those first couple of seconds on video content are as important as it gets. Those are the
Absolutely.
ones that
Yep.
you got to worry about. Well, I think that one of my biggest mistakes that I honestly still probably make way too often to this day is just thinking about things too much. The analysis paralysis is real, and the more that you can just stop thinking about things. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, we're literally doing the exact opposite of that right now, right? If anybody is watching this, they're doing the exact opposite right now. I, I think there's, you know, there's a you should be doing some learning, right? You should be doing some planning, some thinking, some figuring out, and just like we were talking to your point, right? Um, Thinking about what the audience wants to watch, thinking about how you can change things around and make something better, right? There should be a little bit of that, but you can't fall into the trap of doing that too much.
Yeah.
The amount of days I have probably spent just watching videos like we are currently making right now, right? Watching content creation help, watching content, thinking about a video, um, brainstorming and rewriting scripts and thinking about how this should go, that weeks go by and I haven't made a video yet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can't let that kind of thing get too crazy. Done is always better than perfect. You just have to find that balance for yourself, but it's a lot easier, at least for me, but I've noticed it in a lot of people, that it's just easier sometimes to just think about it longer, plan it for longer, rather than just actually doing the thing sometimes. So
Well said, bud.
yeah.
Absolutely. Here, here.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's one of those things that I still struggle with on a regular basis, right? It doesn't get easier. Well, I don't know. Maybe it gets a little bit easier sometimes, but it's a constant struggle, at least for me, for sure. But
Yeah. It gets
just
easier to call yourself on it.
I think that's probably what it is, right?
But it not necessarily gets easier to adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. To act upon it, right?
Well,
But
and
yeah.
one of the things that we talked about a lot in the last week's show was how much content creation is similar to just working out. And I think it's a
Yeah.
very, very similar thing, right? Again, maybe for me, it doesn't get easier to like wake up in the morning, like wake up early, right? It never gets easier, but you get to the point where it becomes a habit. And I know that when my alarm goes off, if I pick up my phone and I open an app, it's not going to be good for my workout, right? Like I'm not going to it's not good.
Yeah.
So like I get better at calling myself out. Like I think you said, I get better at saying like, Devin, this isn't gonna work. If you open Instagram, we're not getting a workout in today,
Yeah.
right? But it doesn't get any easier to actually do. So um, that's definitely one of those things that I wish I could, go back and get back some of the time that I've spent learning or planning or thinking things through, right? Where I
Yeah.
was really just wasting time. So you need to figure out where that line is of, I'm actually learning something. I'm actually making progress with this train of thought, with this planning, this thinking through that I'm going to be doing, and
Mhm.
I'm actually doing something instead. So,
Love it.
all right. Well, if you don't have any other, you know, messages, advice, tidbits, things that you want to get out to the audience, the next thing that we do here is we end this show and we have an entire Discord server full of other creators that you can join and become a part of at sidequeststrategy.com. That will be linked down below if you're watching this on YouTube or wherever you're watching this. Check it out. This is the kind of stuff that we do every week. So not only are we live streaming this to Discord as well, but after we turn this live stream off, after this video recording is done, we're going to that Discord server and we're going to be doing a live Q&A with everybody in the server, whoever wants to jump in, whether it's questions about kind of some of the stuff that we've been talking about, whether it's just chatting about this stuff. It's probably less of a Q&A and more of just a, like I was saying before, I think just a kind of a round table of discussions of like-minded people.
Absolutely.
It is. I was telling Topher again last week. It is. There are a lot of things in life that will alienate you from other people, but nothing I have experienced as deeply alienating as being a content creator, being a
It's true.
YouTuber. It is such a different thing. And I know that it's definitely getting more mainstream and people are starting to get it, but people still know. Like some of my best friends, like they obviously know about my YouTube channel. They know that I do this on a regular basis, but it doesn't get any like more, it hasn't been any more normalized like
Yeah.
between our friends. So like there is a difference between friends and other content creators, and that's what this community is. It is other content creators that want to make this work, that want to share their passions with the world, that want to create communities, that want to make extra money doing this. And that's the goal, is to help people get to their goals, whatever that goal in content creation is. So feel free to join us over there, sidequeststrategy.com. We'll get you to all of that information. But we're going to head over there and have one of these discussions. So thank you so much for joining me this week, Clinton. I'm sure that we'll be seeing you back sometime soon. I'm sure we'll get you back in here. So it was an absolute pleasure.
You can count on it. Thank you so much. Loved being here.
All right. We'll see you later. Stream is ending.